We're back, Carlsbad, California. Welcome back to the channel. This is the KBS Golf Experience. I left so impressed with my iron fitting that it was time to figure out your wedges in an indoor environment. Let's take a look. My man, Dave, welcome back.
Good to see you. Welcome back to the KBS.
The people at TrottieGolf love you. That's all I'm going to say. Great job on the iron fitting. You brought me back for the wedges. What can I say?
Yep, let's get this dialed in as well.
So what do you look for? You told me just to loosen up and hit my pitching wedge just nice and cruisy, right?
Absolutely. So we've kind of gone through our warm-up session already. I've got your pitching wedge because that's where we need to start wedge fittings. This is the last club in your bag for you as a better player that tends to be a full shot club.
Okay.
All right. So I need to know how far this club goes so we can fill in the gaps going down from this club.
So a huge call out there. This is the last club. You're right. Good players tend to only hit full pitching wedge, don't they? They don't get into their 60 or whatever their makeup might be. So
yeah, they may hit their pitching wedge as a 3/4 shot, but they're not using this for the shorter game shots.
Okay.
So as I see you hit balls, we're hitting your pitching wedge somewhere in about the 130 range. Does that sound typical to where you?
Yeah, that would be a flat out one carry, I guess I'd go off. So 125, I like that. I'd be happy with that. And I try not to slam them. So I've got hold of myself as a player and I just try and, obviously I'm talking through that one, but you can see I got somewhat of a skill of it because the numbers are going to come out exactly the same, which is great. But it's just a cruisy, got a little underneath it. 125 would be my number. I know you liked 3 shots before, right? You didn't want too many shots.
Well, for this, I'm just trying to get a baseline number. So 3 or 4 shots is always good. I don't want you to wear out and tire out. Yeah. We've probably got a few more shots here in the wedge session since we're not going full at every.
That's a pretty normal number for me, though, like you've seen there.
So what I'm going to do is once I get that 125, 126 number in my head for what you hit, I'm going to start looking at where do we need the next clubs down. We still need to fill in at about 115, 110, 105, 100. How are we going to effectively fill those in? Now, we're obviously not going to have every slot filled. So your pitching wedge, we've already measured at 47 degrees. Gives me a little bit of a starting point. I'm going to start with a 52-degree head.
Do you know what fills me with great confidence? 1, the comments were electric on the first video. But 2, you're calling out, without seeing me hit wedges, the distances that I look for. So if that's 52, which I can see it is, then 115. Like 110 cruisy, 115 love, push it, maybe 118, 120. And it's like, that's where your mind is, which fills me with a lot of confidence. So for the irons, and just to recap, we ended up in money tapers.
Correct.
Where do we go now then? So money taper will go into my 47 when it's built, right?
That's correct.
Okay, I'm comfortable with it.
So we're going to then determine how do you use your 52-degree wedge on the golf course? Is it something we need to find out in the fitting? Or I'm going to lean that since you're a better player, you have a little bit of a better idea of how you use your 52. Is this still more of a full shot club, a 3/4 shot club? Or does this start to kind of get into your chippy shots? Do you use this a lot around the green for your bump and runs? Or do you lean more on your 56 and 60 for that?
The younger me, the Euro me, would have said 52 would have been reliant for chipping. Now that I'm getting accustomed to playing here in the States a lot more, 56, 60, baby. Give me that. Give me some tunes. Give me
Americanized,
some... Yeah, give me a drink on the cart, and that's where I go.
So I'm going to hand you the 52-degree. And now we're going to start in our #1 wedge shaft, which is our Tour wedge shaft. I've already picked out the 120-gram stiff flex version of this. The reason I picked out this weight is very specifically, we want our wedge shafts to be the same weight or just slightly heavier than our iron shaft.
Okay, I like that. So shorter in length, more weight, more mass.
Absolutely.
So you can feel it.
So we're always going to start, somewhere generally, if I've gotten to do your iron fitting, I have a better starting point. So
now talk to me about lie angles. Obviously, we've gone high toe. I'm going to play around with high toe. I fancy a change from the mill grind 3s. No other reason. Had a lot of success in the 60s. So that's done. I've already decided that. But talk to me about lie angles here when I'm hitting.
So as far as the lie angle for your 52, you saying that you play this still more as a full shot club. First thing I'm going to consider is I want to look at your distances, making sure we're hitting the numbers of 110, 115.
That was nice, yeah.
Which we're close. We're at 108 there, so I'm very happy with that. But again, TrackMan provides me the advantage of it gives me the dynamic lie angle. Well, we looked at you last time and we saw that you were in standard lie angle in your irons, maybe leaning to the flat side, but we stayed in standard to give you the ball shape and shot you want.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we see 63.5 is your dynamic lie angle. 64 would be a standard lie angle at your standard length. So again, the same story comes true with the 52 degree that was true in your irons. We're probably going to put you in standard, but you tend to lean a little bit to the flat side. We want to keep it because you like that nice little ball flight with a tight little draw.
Things that we're looking at, I remember you talking to me about this before, a height and a launch. Where's my launch on here so I can feel out where I'm at?
Right here, we're at 27.5 degrees on your launch.
The 52, if I can get it half of 52 degrees, I'm comfortable with that. Well, you gave me a calculation for height before. It was something to do with club speed, was it?
It's your club's head speed if we turn the speed into feet.
Okay.
So you're at 80.6. Let's make it easy and call it 81. And let's make it real easy because you put that right at 81 feet. So you're a perfect mid-trajectory with your wedge.
And then an outdoor fitting, I saw my last two shots were in the 10,000 range. I like that. This is my 10th golf club pretty much. You go pitching wedge, yeah, but I want this to spin at 10,000. And then my carry, last shot was 108. That was 107. That for me is a cruisy 52. I feel like I could pump this if I had to a little further.
Can you give me one?
I hate doing it, but let's see.
The fitting bay, let's get one to see. If we need 115, do we have it in the tank?
Trottie, give us the shot. I like that. You're taking ownership here. I like it. You seem like my type of fitting. So that was slammed a little harder for me, I would feel.
So we got 112.
Okay.
So that, again, we talk of your pitching wedge. Why did we start there? We started because we saw 125 carry on your pitching wedge. We've got to find something that lives in that 110, 115 world as the next club down. Otherwise, you're asking your pitching wedge to do too much.
I like it. Okay, let me
right.
really try it. Now you're convincing me that I've got to try and hit 115. And I'll give you a true reflection because I'll be interested to see if we can get more out of something else. I think that's going to be bang on the same 111, 112. 115, interesting, little pull maybe.
So let's change it up. Since this plays as your 10th iron, as you said, or your 9-iron pitching wedge in this, let's put your iron shaft in there.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So maybe this club, maybe your other wedges have a different shaft, but this will have your iron shaft in it since it plays at that more full swing capacity.
You're getting me out of my comfort zone here, but I like your methodology.
This doesn't mean it has to be right. We're trying it out.
I wouldn't want to say that when I had a few beers either. But I like what you're going with this. At least you're pushing me to do it. I like that. Little call out. We took care of this before. You want to just re-explain the swing weight and the bracket you have on there?
Yeah, so the fitting system that we use, we account for all the weights of how these things are built. The swing weights are already accounted for. So you don't have to worry about the swing weight in here being different than the swing weight back in the build shop when we're actually building the clubs. So one swing quick, how did that feel different?
Yeah, I'm smiling because I like it. I'm worried because the height is higher than the speed by quite a bit. But I liked it. Spin was good.
The launch angle is still, so your launch angle is at 28. So we're still in a good range of launch angle. Spin rate's still good. So
it feels overall a bit lighter. Is it?
Maybe.
No then.
Not yet. Not giving all my secrets to you yet.
Little heavy. That one will go further, I think, because the spin. 113.
No, really good performance.
Right, 93. Again, I like 20. This.
So what we're quickly seeing is if the 52 is going to live in your bag,
yeah,
even though it's a wedge-specific head as more of a full shot club,
yeah,
I think we stay with the S-taper shaft, the money taper shaft at 120. You ask the question, is this heavier? The answer is not. Both shafts you hit so far are 120 gram shafts.
It's just amazing the perception of it, but this is giving me nice number. I just want to see if a cruisy one, because I've got my mindset now into hitting slammers.
You're getting that home run swing.
Yeah,
right? Nice,
I want to see
one.
Just a cruisy one goes my number. That was hit heavy again. Hit heavy. Come on, give us a cruisy.
Okay, so that was 108 on your miss.
So even that, so the good one's going to be 110.
And if you look, the camera can't see it, but I'm looking down and I can see the sweet spot getting worn out on this.
Yeah, exactly. Which usually I'm a high handle and get it toey.
Well, if you have the shaft, remember we talked in the iron fitting about shaft profiles.
Yeah.
If you get the wrong profile, you could be missing the center of the face just the same way you'd miss the center of the face with the wrong length golf.
I can tell you now, and this is my trust coming out for you, the fitter, I really like this. Like, I'm very convinced on this, which I wouldn't normally say that.
So if we said that, I love that, keeping this in the train.
I do too.
How do you use your 56?
Got to be more versatile. Like to chip with it, like to pitch with it. Yeah, hit full shots with it. Probably, see, I'd probably push 110. I feel like it might not go this in here. It's going to be 105 probably.
With your 56?
Yeah, and my 52 might go a bit further than what these are going, although we had a 116 out of that.
So I'm going to lean on you, again, being the better player that you are.
You're very good for the ego.
I would tell you, I would actually beat you up a little bit and say, why are you trying to hit your sand wedge your 56 degrees so far?
If I want to max out, because I like to know how far it goes, but I like to use it for a 3/4 from 90, and then a nice one from 100, and then a max 110.
Okay.
If the pin is like on the front, or there's something long.
And that's why I asked the question, because as long as you said to me max, because remember, we've already established pitching wedge 125, maxed out 52 degree 115. I would look at this, you don't even max this out at 110, I'd max it out at 105.
Okay.
Okay, so, and then this should live as your 100-yard club.
Interesting that the max out yardage is maybe shorter, and I don't hate it. Better players want to hit wedges probably just on the number, they're not bothered
about
about
this specialty wedge. It's designed so well to take a little off. You know, your 3/4 shot, you nailed it on the numbers of 115 with your 52 and then 108. Why does this need to do 110?
You're good. You're really good at this. You should consider
You're
working.
Good for my ego.
You should consider working in a fitting bay.
Oh, yeah? That's a good call.
That's bang on. I mean, that was a nice hit. So then if I hit like just a cruisy one, let's see if that can go a little shorter. It makes me want to play more golf, all this, I tell you. So that, to me, not bad strike, cruisy one. See, that's gone 99. So that's what I'd expect a cruisy one to go. And then maybe if I went at it a bit harder. Yeah.
I know your viewers will see this. So this caught ball data. It missed the club a little bit. So the ball speed is correct. The spin rate's correct. It caught the golf ball. So this total number is correct. It maybe just didn't see the club head. So the curvature may be a little more than that. I just want your viewers to know when see the numbers like that on TrackMan, the distances are correct. It just doesn't understand the curvature. It's a small miss, but
I like it. That's why they love you. I'm trying to hit that a bit harder. Let's see.
So this is something that you as a better player, you caught all the numbers this time. That's good. You as a better player might almost be tiny frustrated, but me as a fitter loves
this.
Is you just hit 3 shots and you said they all felt different. Well, look at your yardages. 99.9, 99.3, 98.5.
Yeah.
So now I've got a wedge that at your full swing is just landing on 100 yards. Talk about precision. But
it's also good gapping.
Exactly. So the other thing is you said 56 has to be more versatile.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take away from our full swing now. Now give me some numbers in your head that you love. Do you have a 75-yard shot or 65? Is there a shot that you can play 56 degree all the time?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to hit this and I'm going to hit it 3 there, I'd want that to be 75-ish, maybe 80. 70. Okay.
70 carry, 73 total.
That's good then. That's where I wanted it. Yeah. And what my feel for me there is just 9 o'clock on the way back, 3 o'clock on the way through with a bit of speed. And you can see I'm a little off because the carries are different, but the totals are where that's my 70 to 75 shot.
So this is where we start to ask the question about the shaft and what's the shaft's role in our wedges? Well, we understand with your 52 degree that the shaft's role needs to play like your irons. So we're putting your iron shaft straight in there. Does this shaft need to do some different functions? Does it need to perform differently? Do you need more spin or less spin? All right. So I'm looking, and I looked at the full shots, and I see you got up in the 11,000 spin, which is a touch high.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know that I want it to get up there. So maybe let's move this club away to test out. Let's take the money taper shaft out, and let's put a shaft that controls spin a little bit better.
Right. So far, I get what we're saying about the 52. I like that shaft. I'm interested to see a full shot with the pitching wedge with that new shaft, which is going to get coming. So I've got to refine my yardages, which I can do. I really like the first 56-degree shaft you gave me, but I also understand the spin rates maybe weren't as tight. So you want to tell me what we're doing here, or you want me to hit?
I'm going to tell you, we moved to the 610 wedge shaft in the 120 gram stiff. Again, notice we're staying at the same or similar weights to what yours is. This is our spin control wedge. And I'm going to imagine as you hit this the first couple times, it's going to have a very different feel to you.
Yeah, it feels, it definitely feels more dead for certain. Not that that's a bad thing. That's just my description of it. It feels a little stiffer in the handle in the first couple of shots. Again, might be completely wrong. But the ball off the face, good. The confidence I've got, they've landed on top of each other. So let's just cover that for a minute.
So we've hit our 2 full swings. Let's jump down to that 75-yard shot again.
Okay, so just in there, boom. A little heavy, but I think it might be good on the yardage. Spin might be down. 69.
Yeah, it came down. So it's come down. It's not come down massively in spin, but it's come down enough to give us a little bit better control. So now, is the feel bother you? Is it too different, or is it a good feel? What's the feel perception of you as a good player?
I like it. It's definitely not too different. I mean, these are so accurate on the carry numbers. That's what I'm seeing. Like, every one of these balls is landing on top of it. How can you not like this is what it, and again, the trust formed from the first fitting. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm almost like, you guide me a little bit here.
Sure.
And I like that. I think as I'm hitting more and more, the best description of that is it feels quite tight. And I like that.
As I will jump my own golf game in, I'm the person who spins a wedge way too much.
And I am too.
And so I've played that shaft since I started at KBS.
Yeah.
Because it kills the spin. I was willing to, when I learned what it did ball flight wise, I was willing to give it that 1 or 2 weeks of full solid practice to understand that feel was a good feel for me.
Yeah.
So
interesting call out how you got 2 pretty good players here, and we don't want the spin. We want to back the spin off. And that's why I like that. Look, it's still spinning enough and it's still going to grab, but the methodology of the club coming down, the spin loft you're going to create is going to give you the spin. I like that. I like where your head's at with the 52 and the pitching wedge. Again, you want me to ask questions or just...
So this is the Tour B wedge shaft. It's 125 grams. We're going up in weight, but it should kind of have a mid-feel between the one you just hit and your money taper shaft.
So a bit more responsive would be what I'm saying.
A bit more responsive than the 610 that we just hit.
Little toey on the strike. Let's see the yardage. Again, it's going the money.
It's right on that 100 number. I love the loft progression of 47, 52, 56.
Yeah. That's going to be good too. Yeah, okay. I mean, I like it. It feels a bit...
feel better.
Feels a bit more active.
Yeah.
Is that how it should feel?
Yeah, and we're keeping our spin rate under that 11,000 number. We're right under it, but hit me that 75-yard shot one more time.
Does it feel better is a good question. That was underneath it. That'll be 68, 66. Feel terrible. Way off.
So maybe sound a little thin.
No, that was all right.
That was all right?
67. I prefer the other one. And I prefer it on this little shot. I think on a full shot, I can't really get. And that's just off a snapshot of seeing it. Would I spend a bit more time? I don't know if I would, because it's like your first instinct. I can feel it a bit better through these shots. I can feel the other one a bit more. I mean, these are going my numbers now.
So in quick review, we have 4 shafts that are wedge specific. But I always say we have a 5th shaft for your wedges. It's always your iron shaft. So we see that the money taper is going to go in your 52 degree. What I've done is I've thrown the 610, our low spinning wedge shaft, into a 60 degree. Oh, it's 52.
I was going to say, you're throwing me off
Sorry,
it.
I got it in my back pocket.
Okay. You've always got something in his back pocket. I like that. Yeah, based on the amount of golf I play, I want to take my first instinct here as a player. I've gained a lot of trust in David from the first fitting. I've watched that video back myself, and it's rare for me to give up the control for someone else. This is what I do at the end of the day, but this is indoor, and this is interesting. I'm going to get all this data out on a golf course and see how it comes, but I'm buying into this process. So you have to ask yourself as a player, are you going to do that, or are you going to overrule someone that listens to shots all the time, listens to bounce off this mat? Like, we haven't discussed that yet. I've been very strong on standard bounce. I've not given him an option to come off what I play. So into this one, you've gone 6'10" wedge.
So
again,
this is
fine.
6'10". This is the shaft we liked in the 56. So now we've got our 60-degree head. I don't care about a full shot.
Yeah.
Let's hit some soft shots. Let's see if we get enough spin with this, if there's enough feel on this. And again, pick a number. Tell me the shot you're going to hit. You're going to hit your 50.
I mean, if I'm hitting this 50, as you say, and I'm just going a little open in the blade, hands a little lower, and then again, halfway back to the guys watching, and it's going to come out a little bit nippy. It might be under the 50, a little bit on the carry, 47. But I like it.
You're still at 8,000 spin.
Which is plenty.
You turned that open probably to 65, 66 degrees.
And again, just wanting
your launch is at 33.
This is good. This is good. I can tell it's good. I like it.
Hit me a really short shot. This is where I challenge people in the fitting. Give me 20 yards.
We know, when you and I stood and did TrackMan Next Tour, that this is not my forte in simulator golf. So you know what we...
So what is your 20-yard shot? Let's work on feel.
It's so hard, right? Because when you're in a simulator and you hit, you don't picture... Like, I guess you've had my 50 shot, but it's interesting and a good thing for anyone getting lessons out there. Again, I feel like there, and just looking at this, the strike on this is so good. This is where we're going. But I feel like when I go halfway back to you guys and I go halfway through with a bit of speed, I get 50. 48 carry, happy with that. But where would I go? And it's very interesting because when we did the simulator golf, anything below 50 starts to become a visual and a feel. And you start to use the sounds and the senses around you. So to hit a 20-yard shot here, and what I started doing in the simulator was picturing where to hit the screen.
How high to hit it up the screen, yeah.
It's a tough one.
I'd probably picture, if I'm trying to hit a 20-yard shot, the 50-yard shot probably hit here. I'd probably try and hit it just above the little black line here. That's maybe your 20-yard shot.
That's way high. But that ain't gone 50 because I took all the speed out. 30, I would say. 18, baby. We got to believe the feel.
All right. So even though that went above the black line, maybe
I got the blade open. I think you and I see different shots here. That's gone the same. That's how I like to chip, which to you is probably going to sound a little low.
Yeah, well, launch angle at 30. That's what, again, that's what we're looking at. So
yeah, and that spin rate was down because of the speed. I mean, this is an obvious one for me. I'm excited about trying this, unless you got something else, but I like this in 60, 56.
I initially pulled 6 shafts after our iron fitting for you to try.
Yeah.
And at this point, we've only tried 3. I would be, as the fitter, just handing you too much if I had you hit the other shafts.
I love it.
Okay. Again, we have the shafts of the C-tapers and the other stuff, but there's no reason to hit it because we've already found the one that's key.
Love it. One thing I want to do, just as a last checkpoint, I do it if there's something long. You play a golf course and you can't go long and you can't go long. I would need to be hitting this 90 flat out, but it's rare that I do it.
Well, again, you've got the 610 shaft, which is going to control the spin the best. So give it all.
So I would want to know that nice golf shot there gets near 90. So 84, it just can't go longer than 90. That's where my head's at.
So now, okay, so I'm a guy who will never hit a 60-degree full. It scares me.
I'm still adjusting to this US way of playing golf.
So, but if you look, we just hit 115 full shot, 100 full shot, 85 full shot. 15 yards between each as the gapping.
Shut up. It's good.
We've got a video, but I would almost say the same. I'd shut up too.
Yeah.
So the numbers spoke for themselves.
I think it's brilliant. I think that I can't thank you enough again. Look at how committed I am to this process. Go back, watch that first iron shaft video, see how this works. Obviously, the acid test is a try 'em on the golf course, but follow along, subscribe, follow. bang the comments, give your love for my man. Come and check out the KBS Golf Experience. It's all here for you. You can go through what I've gone through with this Onion Master, and you can get dialed on your equipment too.
I think I got to build you some clubs now too, don't I?
I think they've got to stay tuned, and they've got to subscribe, and they've got to see what comes in future weeks.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much. Honestly, that was brilliant. A lot of good information. Massively appreciate it.